I'm back with a new topic. Okay, back with a new topic. I'll wait for y'all to come on. Things to never discuss or things to never say on a date. I know some of y'all probably break all the rules in one sitting. Y'all probably a lot of you guys have probably done all these things wrong. But let's break it down. The obvious first two: never talk politics or religion or spirituality. Okay? That's a no-no. um, Never talk that because that's first thing, especially people will want to separate from you if they don't agree with you or you don't agree with them. That's the first thing, the first strike. Okay. Always remain neutral if they ask. Even if you're not, don't don't give in. So, I like to listen to whatever and make my own decisions and whatever who's saying this and who's saying that, blah blah blah. Don't give in. If they keep pushing, just like, oh, I don't discuss politics. They say a lady never discusses politics. So then change the question. I'm an atheist, and you never tell anyone. See. Then don't talk about religion. Some people, that's the first thing they want to talk about. And that's when you just say, oh, I'm more of a spiritual person. Or, I really don't discuss religion. I think it's a personal thing. You know. So don't discuss criminal records. Yep, that's another one. Uh Past divorces, past like bad relationship. Don't ever talk about exes. Don't ever talk about your last relationship. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about your kids. Don't talk about your dogs. Don't talk about your cats. Okay. Don't talk about past abuse. Okay. Don't talk about I'm just listing the stuff y'all are saying. Baby daddies, family issues. Dang, y'all coming up with a lot of them. I'm gonna have to work. Don't talk about your education level. Don't talk about your career. What else? That's funny. Um, so find other things to talk about. Don't talk about any, like, don't really give away a lot of your weaknesses by like going into childhood trauma. Don't gossip. Well, I heard such and such was doing such and such. What you think? Don't talk bad about people because they'll think you're going to talk bad about them. Don't talk very negative about anything in particular. Try to remain neutral because they might judge you based on how you're talking about something or someone. So try to keep it very neutral. Someone says no racial slurs or jokes, I believe. Yes. Okay. Um Sure. There is one lady and gentleman charging $2,970 for 12 weeks for the same things you're talking about. 12 weeks. Wow. That is a commitment. Is it, is it that lady that does wife school or whatever? Um, don't gossip about the waitress. Oh, don't talk bad about other women. True. Shira, you said if they ask you about your ex, say that they were cheap. No. Did I say that they were cheap? It depends. Yeah. Why?
Okay.
You need me?
That's fine. I'm getting ready to run up to Best Buy and pick up. I need a USB extension.
Okay.
And basically can go.
Bring me some food. A USB extension?
Yeah, you can plug in a USB to one of the ports, and then you can run multiple USBs off that port. I need extended capability.
Oh, okay. I don't have one of those. Um, learn to receive compliments. Okay, so talk about the food and travel. Oh, yes, yes. Okay. Um, try not to talk about like negative things. Anything negative, stay away from that subject because huh? You can probably get it. You probably don't really have to go to Best Buy. You can probably get it anywhere. Don't ask them to diagnose you medically. What? Don't complain. Yes, no complaining. Oh yeah, act spoiled. Spoiled. I corrected your English. Bye, James. Um, bring some food. Yeah, but that just depends. Like if you're in a conversation and they're saying, "Oh, why aren't you attached? Or why aren't you this? And why aren't you that?" You know, if they just demand an explanation, you know, then you can say, but don't bring it up. That's what I'm saying. If they demand to know, like, well, why aren't you with anybody? You're so beautiful. Da 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 da. If they're really just trying to get it out of you, just say. Someone said, just say he died. Um, you know, well, I really, I don't really like talking about exes, but since you just, are really wondering why I'm single, I have like high standards. No one could really meet them. Leave it at that. If you're trying to get money out the man, if you're trying to make him feel some type of way, that is the context of that. You have to watch the video and get the surrounding story, you know. But don't bring it up on your own, is what I'm saying. Don't bring it up on your own. Look at Rico. Hey, Rick. Rick, 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 Rick. He likes the carpet because it's the same color. um, I tell them I'm picky and that they work hard to meet my standards. Yeah. Tell Rico, come here. Come here, Rick. Rick the freak. He's not used to all this attention. Hey, Rick. Okay, he's down there. Oh, now he's trying to get up on me. That's too much. Bye. That's claws, like his nails are sharp. Rico gained weight. He sure did. All he do is sit on the couch and watch TV all day. He's like 4 or 5. Yeah, I think he's 5, about to be 5. I have a dog and a cat. Yes. Rico is so fat. He did lose weight, y'all, but James keeps feeding him. Like, I have a cup that we feed him with, and that's measured out in his food. But James keeps giving him scraps when we're not around, and I keep telling him, "Stop feeding that dog." Um, and that's another thing. Don't go all into your pets unless that man is into pets and he's talking about his pets and he's just like an animal freak, but don't do it on your own. Let him lead the conversation so you know what is okay to talk about, but don't just start talking about all your animals because some people think you're crazy and then they'll label you a crazy animal freak, you know. Don't talk about anything you really are super passionate about because you'll get carried away and um, kind of not be as into that person. So don't go into super, passionate speeches about whatever. Keep it neutral and listen more than you talk. Oh, don't talk about your insecurities. Right. I told a guy I wanted plastic surgery and that was a mistake. Yep, that was dumb. Why would you? You never tell a man you want plastic surgery ever. They're supposed to think that's real or at least hope it's real. Even if you don't have it yet, you're never supposed to tell anybody any of that. You're supposed to be like, oh, I need to, I'm trying to save up or, I'm trying to put on a down payment on this or, my car, even though your car is already paid for and bought or whatever, then use it for the plastic surgery. You don't tell people your plans. Okay. But at least you learned, right? What if you want them to pay for it? Say it's for something else, you know, unless you really know them well and you can get whatever you want from them, because what they're really thinking is, oh, you gonna get me to pay for plastic surgery and then you gonna leave me for somebody else to enjoy the surgery I paid for? You know, that's what men think when you ask them to pay for plastic surgery. Mhm. You're supposed to scam the money and go get it without telling them what it's for. Yeah, Rico looks like a supersized chihuahua. Okay. He is chubby, ain't he? He had lost weight. He was getting thinner, but James keeps feeding him. He's policing the live feed. He's trying to get up in there. If they ask, what are you looking for in a man? What should you mention? Oh, I don't know yet. Haven't found it. Don't give no list. You don't know. Like, you didn't make out a list and say, this is what I want in a man. You actually did, but you're not going to tell him. That way he doesn't know how to act to get you. He has to try everything, you know. If you say, "Oh, I'm looking for a long-term relationship," he knows how to lie to you. "Oh, I'm looking for someone fun and adventurous." Now he knows that he got to take you somewhere different. If he has to work hard to figure you out to try to impress you, you're going to date longer. Okay? When he doesn't see you responding well to this type of date, he's going to switch it up. When if he doesn't think you're looking for a long-term relationship, he's not going to be trying to lie to you and tell you things that aren't true in order to get you in the bed. You know, if he thinks you're just trying to have fun, then he's more likely to relax around you because you're not expecting anything serious. And, he doesn't have to lie to you as much to kind of get what he wants or to kind of attempt to get what he wants. He can be straight up because you're not looking for no long term. And when you're not looking for long term, they most likely feel like they're not good enough for you if you said that, and it makes them work harder. If you sitting across from a nice looking guy or a rich guy or a decent looking guy and he asks you, what are you looking for? And you don't say long term. He's like, okay, like I'm not good enough for long term. Basically, that's what he's thinking. So he then starts to prove himself even more. So you never tell him what you're really looking for. You always just say, I'm just looking to have fun and enjoy, the company of, someone, funny and interesting. That's all you say, funny and interesting. That way they busy thinking about jokes and keeping the conversation going, and you ain't got to do nothing. Thank you. Rico stole the show. Rico. Um, what about I'm not looking for anything at the right person, and the right person is probably looking for me. That's kind of like I wouldn't say that because that doesn't really make sense. uh, dog toys, food. What kind of dog toys does Rico like? Food. He doesn't really play with toys. He'll chase a treat. What kind? Oh, yeah. So Rico means rich in Spanish, right? Rich. What if he keeps switching the combo to you for you to answer his questions? Just be like, well, I would love to answer that. If you don't want to answer the questions, like, I would love to answer that for you. But right now, I am so hungry. I'm starving. I can't even really think. Let's get something to eat. Or, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. Or, will you excuse me? I have to use the ladies' room. Excuse me. If he keeps asking you questions, just like, I really like to hear about you. You're so interesting. Oh my goodness. Like, your life is like a novel. Tell me more about you. We could talk about me all day long. Uh, but I find you so fascinating. Put it back on him. You know, Mhm. Your life is way more exciting than mine. Um, and then it gives you time to at least think of something and be like, oh, you're just going to have to find out, or I'll let you know later on, or that's something that we can discuss at another time. Just keep deflecting. Oops, sorry. Just keep deflecting. Um, I want to Netflix and chill with Rico. Okay. Benny, why you holding secrets? What no, y'all are talking. What if he insists on calling you ma'am? How old are you? Like, how old is ma'am? Like, is it like a pet name? Like ma'am? Call him sir. Play with it. Say yes, sir. One thing I notice is that if you always ask a man about himself during the date, he'll end up thinking that the date was great because men love hearing themselves speak. Exactly. Always switch it back on them. Yes. So you can probably get away with just switching it back to them. Like start answering the question, but then ask the question and they'll start talking again. What if he asks if you're seeing other people? So always say no. Always say no. Because if think about it, really think about it. If you say sure, yes, I'm seeing lots of people. What do you sound like? If he's an older dude and call you ma'am, he want a dominatrix, or he's just being respectful because he old, or being playful. I just let them talk and pretend I'm Oprah. That's very interesting. hmm hmm What if the man wants to marry you after only 2 weeks? Crazy, crazy, something wrong. Okay. What are exciting questions from the other person's perspective? I always ask about his childhood, ask him if he played any sports, ask him about his hobbies, ask him, you know, best childhood memory. Just keep going on things that you can use later on. Did you have any, just keep asking. Ask about his mother a little bit because that's going to really give a lot of information away. Oh, ask him where he's from. You could lead into it. It's like, oh, well, where are you originally from? Oh, okay. Wow. So you're you were raised this way. Okay. I bet you had a fun and interesting family. Then he'll go into the family. Mhm. Sweetheart, do you mind if I talk a lot about myself? It would keep my mind off how beautiful you are. That's what I tell her. You so silly. What about literature? I love reading. Boo. A man ain't there to hear about no literature. The heck? Oh, yeah. Unless you're talking about the Kama Sutra. You talking about the Kama Sutra? 50 Shades of Grey? Mhm. Um, my video, yes. What if he keeps talking about his dad? Listen carefully. You're going to find all the ways you need to get money out of him. When people talk about a subject over and over, it is a giveaway, a dead giveaway about what drives them, what fuels them, what they're passionate about, how you can get them. Listen, shut your mouth and listen. Don't get bored. Pay attention. Okay. This is how, if he don't like his daddy, if his daddy is this and that, you can get money saying your daddy is this and that. Okay. That's why you don't tell your life story until you hear his. Then you can make it appropriate to get the most benefit. Okay. My dad was this, my dad was that, my dad was this, my dad. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. You need some money. Guess what? Your dad this, your dad this, your dad didn't do this, your dad didn't do that. He's gonna be able to empathize with you. He's gonna be able to feel your pain. Therefore, he will try to help you. Okay. Always know more about him. Right. I say my dad spoiled me. Wait till you get his side of the story about his childhood first, before you talk about all of that. If you said your dad spoiled you, you're going to have to throw up evil stepdad in there after, after he left or passed away. You're going to have to improvise on your story. Okay. Um, so never talk about like how many people you slept with. Like they should not be asking you that question anyway because you don't ask them, right? If they ask you that question, I know they don't have no money. Okay, because most people think that's off limits and inappropriate if they have any kind of class or manners. Anyone that asks you that has zero class and zero manners. Okay. What if the man knows your family or a family member? Um, I really wouldn't date that close to home. Sorry. Do you say that you've had long relationships or never had anything serious? I always say, well, I've been in. I don't talk about past relationships. I was just like, oh, I've been in a relationship. Then change the subject real quick. Mhm. Okay, because most people have been in a relationship. Just quickly change the subject. Um, Also, never talk about. Um, like I said, if you have kids, You're not and he knows about it. Don't sit there and talk about it. I always say don't tell them, but if they already know for some reason, don't sit there and talk about your kids, okay? I'm sorry. I know kids are entertaining. I know they're funny to you, but to other people it's boring. Okay? Do you say you used to be married before? No. I mean, not until you get to know this person, you know. Don't even like I said, don't talk about past relationships. You're supposed to be there having fun. It's not an interview. You're supposed to be seducing him. You're supposed to be distracting him with your beauty. You're supposed to be listening to him talk and getting clues on how you can get stuff out of him later. Okay? It's not an interview. Your mission is to keep him talking and gather intel, to avoid answering most of the questions, but instead redirecting or distracting him with seduction. Okay? So when he leaves the date, he leaves wanting more. You're a mystery. He feels good talking with you because you're impressed with everything he's done. So at the end of the date, he feels empowered. He feels like he's impressed you, yet you're still a mystery and he wants to see you again. Okay. But if he knows your whole life story and he had to sit there and pinch himself and keep from falling asleep, that's probably going to be it. Um, mhm. um, be his psychotherapist. Yeah, but don't try to solve his problems. Just listen. I know so many women fall into that mode when guys start talking about stuff. Don't solve their problems. Okay. Don't try to solve them. Just be there. Just like, I'm so sorry, baby. Oh my goodness. Let me hold you. Don't solve the problem. Don't attempt to offer any type of solution. Don't you do it. Okay. You can listen. You can say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened." Don't try to solve none of their problems. Okay. Um, that way they won't regret telling you their issues because now they feel like you're trying to fix them. Maybe they don't want to be fixed. Maybe they just want to vent. Okay. So don't try to solve their problems. Okay. I made the mistake of talking about JFK and Abe Lincoln assassination conspiracy on and sex on the first day. Ooh, girl. You must have been drunk. You really did you drink too much? That's another thing, control your alcohol because all of this game will fly out the window once you get drunk. You're gonna be like, I don't care what she was saying. I'm gonna go do what I want to do. I do what I want. He gonna call this back. You gonna get all this fake confidence and you gonna talk and talk and talk, give it up, and then you gonna wake up sober up. And you're like, wait a minute, what happened? So don't over drink on dates. You were completely sober? Oh my God. Why? What's wrong with why did you do that? I hope well, at least you learned from it. Oh, it was your first date ever. Oh, that's well, you cry when you get too drunk. Oh God, don't do it. Lunch date is always the way. Hmm. I like lunch dates too because you can get in and get out quick. They can see what you look like in the daylight. You really don't have to drink alcohol unless you choose to. Um, and you know, It's you don't get into deep conversations at lunch, especially during the daytime. You kind of keep it light. So probably less to talk about like personal things. Mhm. The daylight test, yes. And that's another thing. If you're meeting somebody for lunch, don't cake on that makeup, y'all. Because in the daylight, it don't look the same. They're gonna see, don't cake on the makeup if you're having a lunch date. That's one thing. I know a lot of women who really get into makeup. Sometimes, they look beautiful. Yeah, no, they look beautiful all the time. But sometimes if you're doing too much and someone walks upon you in the daytime in real life, it looks really overdone, and that can kind of be a turn off. Okay. So I guess dial it down a little bit if you're going on a daytime date in the daylight. Okay. Yes, with too much trophy wife blending everyone. Yes. I have on trophy wife. But I pat it in with some powder and blot it. Okay. I prefer dinner. It gets intimate quick, more mystery, and usually lunch is cheaper than dinner. Yeah, that's true. It just all depends though, because you can go to a restaurant with dark ambiance for lunch. There are many restaurants that when you walk in, it looks like it's dark or it's night because they want to give that ambiance. Mhm. Touching during the first date. You can touch their leg, you can touch their shoulder, things like that. Casual touching. You can hold their hand maybe if you were that comfortable, if you're in seduction mode, if you're bubbly. Your attitude, it all depends on your attitude. Should you wear lashes in a lunch day if they're really natural like these? Look, you can't tell these are lashes. Don't wear them long duck lashes. I say if you're going out in the daytime, very natural lashes. Mhm. Okay, just think about it. If you're going to meet somebody at lunch and you are drag queening it up and everyone else is on lunch break or out casually, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So don't go in there for lunch looking draggy. Like if I was going to lunch, this look might be a little bit too much. You know, I might opt for solid colors versus this, you know. So just really tone it down for daytime looks. For night, you're good, you know. You don't overdo it, but you can go a little extra mile. Mhm. Have you tried the individual ones for every day? No, it's too much work for me, child. Just get a natural looking one. And I barely wear lashes anyway. How do you sit next to them and not in front of them? If you have a table, um, if it's like a small table, then you have no choice. But if it's a booth, if it's a table with four chairs, sit in the chair right here, not across. Sit in the chair right here. That way you can touch his leg, you can bend towards him and whisper in his ear, blah, 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 blah. Um, get the lashes with the clear or invisible band. They look more natural. Yeah. These have the invisible band. What if they don't won't stop staring at you at your boobs? They're a man. What they gonna look at? They're trying to imagine what they look like. Play it up. Shoot, you know what they want. You know their weakness now. Oops. Mhm. What if they are too touchy feely? then grab their hand and hold it and squeeze it. Don't you rather hold their hand than them touching everywhere? Does anyone recommend brown eyeliner? I use deep purple. It brings out my eyes, but looks sort of harsh during the day. What do you guys think? I think a dark brown could be cute, or you could do like a smoky if if your skin is fair. But if you have brown skin, probably try to do black or gray. Black. The best kind of bee are boobs. Ah, I told a man, "Hey, I'm up here." He says, "I'll be there in a minute." That's funny. I sit next to my hubby when possible, but really, I just want to see what he see. What if he gets your number and calls you 3 times and never asks you out? Well, how long were you guys on the phone? Did you talk too much? What are my lashes called? I have all the details to this look on my beauty channel, Ashira Star. Yo, it's time for me to go. Gotta get my kids. I'll type in my beauty channel down here. Y'all can go subscribe there too. I have hauls and stuff of like products and stuff. Please. But yeah, always avoid those really bad topics and keep it simple. Don't get too deep. Don't talk on the phone for an hour twice, 10 minutes the third time. Okay. That hour killed it. That's what killed it. How you gonna stay on the phone with a man for an hour? You talk for 5 minutes or less and end it quick. You never stay on the phone for more than 5 minutes with a man. Okay. You leave them wanting more. If you wouldn't have talked an hour, if you wouldn't have gone on, and I bet he ended all the conversations, right? You only talk 5 minutes and you end it and you get up out of there. That way he wants to see you because you're still a mystery to him. Okay. Listen, learn. Yep. So never talk on the phone for more than 5 minutes. 5 minutes is too long. I say 4 minutes. 3 to 4 minutes, then you're out. You end the call. Don't let them get off the phone because they're bored. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Will I be back on later? I might. I have consultations tonight. So I don't know. We'll see. Bye y'all.